You walk into a luxury boutique. In the window, a line of expensive watches sits under perfect light. You haven't said a word yet, but the salesperson already knows whether you came in to buy or whether you're only passing through. What are they reading? Not your speech, not your credentials, not your intention as you would describe it. They're reading the way you entered, the steadiness of your steps, the ease in your shoulders, the calm or unease in your face, even your eyes. In that moment, your body is more honest than your words. It has already spoken for you. It has already answered the silent question underneath everything else. Do I believe I belong here? A lot of people think manifestation is mainly a matter of thought, but thought alone is not enough. If a thought never passes through feeling, never enters the body, and never turns into the way you breathe, move, stand, speak, and act, it remains suspended between imagination and reality. Money does not respond to how you talk about wealth. It responds to how you live around it. Your posture, your tone of voice, your pace, the openness or contraction in your body. All of it creates a signal. Money is a selective listener. It does not trust your slogans. It does not care about your titles, your degrees, or your promises. Money understands one language better than any other, the language of the body. So if you truly want wealth, stop waiting for abundance to happen to you. Let your body begin living it first. The real question is this: how do you make the body into a field that wealth can actually recognize?
This is Momentum Arc, a space for inner exploration and spiritual growth. Your likes, comments, subscriptions, and super thanks do more than support this work. They help this energy reach more souls who are ready for real change. Catherine Ponder was one of the most influential prosperity teachers in 20th century America. Her work brought together biblical wisdom, psychological insight, and the principles of manifestation. Over time, many readers came to think of her as a kind of mother of prosperity consciousness. She had been a minister, an entrepreneur, and a healer, and she devoted years of her life to helping people reorganize abundance from the inside out. Starting in the 1960s, her landmark book, The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, reached readers around the world and became a formative text for entrepreneurs, seekers, and people trying to understand why wealth comes easily to some and keeps slipping away from others. One of the most important ideas in the book is this: abundance is not just a wish held in the mind. It has to be ignited through feeling and then received by the body before it can take shape in reality. Thought moves into emotion. Emotion enters the body. The body becomes the place where the invisible is either welcomed or refused. That sequence is one of the real pathways through which something imagined becomes something lived. Ponder understood that it is not enough for the mind to say, "I'm ready." Your cells have to believe it too. Money is sensitive. It reads the depth of your breath, the rhythm of your movement, the way you occupy space. It decides whether to come closer based on what your body is actually communicating. When you move through life in a stable, grounded, and relaxed way, your body sends a message wealth can understand. This is safe. This can flow. This can stay. But when your body is contracted, defeated, and chronically tense, money reads something very different. Prosperity has never arrived through logic alone. It enters most naturally through the body's most honest language. Tension is the language of a closed door. Relaxation is an invitation. In older Eastern wisdom traditions, the body is not treated as a passive shell. It is seen as the dwelling place of energy. The Tao Te Ching points again and again toward emptiness, stillness, and inner quiet as the conditions that allow life to move freely. Prosperity, if we are willing to see it as a form of energy, follows the same law. If your body lives in chronic tension, defensiveness, and anxiety, money has to move through a system that keeps broadcasting alarm. It becomes like water trying to pass through a channel packed with stone. That is why some people seem to carry what others call a wealthy presence. They walk into a room and something in their body speaks before they ever introduce themselves. Maybe they are not rich yet in any obvious sense, but their posture, pace, and presence are already saying, "I expect life to meet me well. I can hold more." The reverse is true too. If you habitually walk with your head down, your shoulders curled inward, and your steps dragging, those small actions become a continuous broadcast of doubt. Over time, repetition teaches the nervous system what to believe. This is not only a personality issue, it is a frequency issue, but not in a vague, decorative sense. It is the practical frequency of what the body repeats every day. Research in embodied cognition has suggested that open, stable posture does more than reflect confidence. It can help reshape it. Relaxed shoulders, a lifted neck, a more focused gaze. These details help the brain produce chemistry associated with agency, steadiness, and perceived control. So close your eyes for a moment and think about your most recent meaningful interaction with money. Checking your account, paying a bill, considering something expensive. What happened in your body? Did your breathing tighten? Did your hands contract? Did your stomach harden? Those small reactions are not random. They are part of your ongoing nonverbal conversation with wealth. A real relationship with money is not built only through logic. It is trained into the body. And like any language, it can be relearned. The language of money can be learned again. Money is not only a medium of exchange, it is also energy, stored intention, and the visible form of movement. If you want to communicate with that kind of force, the numbers in your wallet matter less, at first, than the silent messages carried by your muscles, your nerves, your breath, and your habits. Every time you lengthen your spine, every time you take a fuller breath instead of a fearful one, you begin rewriting an old instruction inside the nervous system. You are teaching the body that money is not automatically a threat. It can become a relationship. It can become something trusted. Money likes movement. It likes to be spent in trust. It likes circulation. It likes open systems and open hands. So ask yourself honestly, what happens in your body when you pay a bill? Do you stop breathing? Do your fingers tighten? Do you move too quickly, as if rushing through the moment will somehow reduce the stress? Those repeated physical habits create body memory around money. Over time, the nervous system learns the equation money equals pressure. Once that equation is embodied, the subconscious stops relating to money as something to communicate with and starts treating it as something to escape or survive. But body memory can be rewritten. If you begin practicing a different response, breathing fully while you pay, opening your palm, even quietly saying, "Thank you for moving through my life," your system starts building a new association. Money no longer equals pressure. It begins linking itself to steadiness, trust, openness, and ease. Repeat that often enough, and the body remembers. Then, when the next financial opportunity arrives, you are no longer the person who instinctively shrinks back. You are the one who can stay present, stay open, and actually meet it. That is not performance. It is recalibration. In the dynamic laws of prosperity, one of the deeper implications is that abundance is not a contest of wishes. It is a full-body practice of receiving. True prosperity is not created only by income. It is also created by whether your body can live in a rhythm that is actually compatible with receiving more. When the gut, the spine, the breath, and the voice begin telling the same story, money finds the signal easier to trust. Take eating, for example. If you rush through meals, swallow too fast, and barely register what is in front of you, the digestive system receives a survival message. The body learns, we are under pressure, we are not safe, we do not have time. That message does not stay limited to digestion. It spills into decision-making. It can make you overly cautious, reactive, and quick to panic when money starts moving. Now imagine a different rhythm. You slow down. You chew carefully. Your stomach softens. Your breath has room. In physiological terms, you are telling the nervous system, I am safe enough to receive. That matters, because abundance is easier to hold in a body that is not constantly signaling emergency. Posture works the same way. Your body position is a daily investment. When the head rises easily, the chin settles, the spine lengthens, and the body stops collapsing inward, something changes in the way you meet the world. A slumped posture resembles a long period of financial stagnation. No breakout, no momentum, just drift and compression. A more aligned body, by contrast, resembles movement with direction, space, and integrity. Breath matters too. Shallow, clipped breathing is expensive. It drains attention, creativity, and emotional range. Deep, steady breathing behaves more like low-cost, long-term capital. It gives you room to respond instead of react. And then there is the voice. Every day, your voice is creating an invisible financial resume. What affects people is often not just the content of your words, but the placement and quality of the sound. A grounded tone that rises from the chest communicates steadiness. A rushed, pinched voice communicates anxiety. People respond accordingly. So does money. If money understands body language, there is a deeper question worth asking. Where in your body does wealth still trigger discomfort? A lot of financial blockage is not caused by laziness or lack of effort. It is tied to an unresolved sensory point in the body, a place where fear, scarcity, shame, or unworthiness is still stored as sensation. Maybe it is your stomach. Maybe your shoulders rise every time money comes up. Maybe your pelvis never fully grounds. Maybe your chest tightens whenever the word wealth appears. These are not meaningless quirks. They are body responses shaped by earlier experience. So stop for a moment. Close your eyes. Think of the word money. What happens first? Does the stomach clench? Do the palms change? Does the chest drop? Does the breath go thin? That first reaction matters. It may be the exact point where your relationship with abundance is still interrupted. You do not need to force that point to change all at once. Start by returning there with awareness. Here are a few simple ways to begin loosening that pressure. First, try 3 rounds of slow breathing. Place your hand on the sensory point. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, exhale for 8. This is more than breath work. It is a way of telling that area, you are safe enough to soften. Second, use self-soothing touch. Rest your palm over the tense area and stay there without trying to fix it. Just accompany it, as if you were calming a frightened child. You can quietly say, I hear you. I am willing to understand you. Third, try body writing. Bring your attention to the sensory point and ask, when did you first begin tightening like this? Write down whatever image, feeling, or memory comes up. Let the body answer in its own language. Fourth, stand in front of a mirror, look into your own eyes, and speak to the part of your body that has been carrying financial fear. Thank you for protecting me. Now I choose trust instead of defense. I choose openness instead of fear. The point is not to sound spiritual. The point is to let the body know that this time you are not abandoning it. You are returning to reconnect the circuit. Trust is not something the mind can fake for very long. It has to grow from the feet upward. It has to grow in a body that finally feels safe enough to receive. Catherine Ponder understood this deeply. In essence, she taught that you do not have to prove your worthiness to the universe. You only need to let the body become a container that can receive. So ask yourself some practical questions. Is your body open or closed? Are your hands naturally relaxed, or are they always tense and guarded? Is your breath moving cleanly, or does it get trapped in the chest the moment emotion rises? Those details are not cosmetic. They tell life whether you are truly prepared for more. You can begin building a new bodily relationship with wealth through simple daily rituals. In the morning, try a prosperity stretch. Stand with your feet shoulder-width apart, lift both arms overhead, and imagine energy moving cleanly through your body. At midday, take a circulation walk. Match your breathing to your steps. Let the body learn rhythm, not rush. At night, place both hands over your heart and review what you received that day. Money, food, time, kindness, support, insight, and offer quiet thanks. Do that for 7 days, and your body starts building a steadier, more visible pattern. Not a fantasy, not a wish, a rhythm that money can actually read. Money does not come because you shout for it. It comes more easily when your body has stopped arguing with abundance. Thought only becomes reality when the body is willing to receive it. Destiny does not change just because the mind becomes clever. It changes when the body joins the transformation. When your body says, "I am enough, I am ready, I can hold this," life responds with more room, more opportunity, and more resource. So let the body become wealthy first. Not by pretending, not by acting superior, but by standing taller, breathing deeper, eating with more calm, speaking with more steadiness, walking as if your life can actually hold what you are asking for. Money will hear that, and it is never late. It arrives in the posture that is finally true enough to receive it.